GeForce RTX 3080 vs RTX 3070 vs RTX 3060 vs RTX 3080 laptop 150 watts test in 44 games 4K. According to NVIDIA, the GeForce RTX 3080 Founders Edition will retail for $1,200. Plus, almost matches RTX 3090 performance. Excellent 4K gaming performance. Beautiful looks. Idle fan stop. Second generation hardware accelerated ray tracing. 12GB of RAM. Support for HDMI 2.1, AV1 decode. DLSS improved. NVIDIA Reflex Slow Latency Technology. PCI Express 4.0. 8nm production process. Minus. Actual market pricing and supply levels unknown. Louder than competing AMD reference cards. Single and multi-monitor idle power considerably higher than RTX 3080. 12-pin power connector is complicated and inconveniently located. Right in time for Computex, NVIDIA had great news to share. The GeForce RTX 3080 is launching, reviews today, in stores tomorrow. We have a total of 6 GeForce RTX 3080 reviews today: Asus RTX 3080 Strix LC, EVGA RTX 3080 FTW3 Ultra, MSI RTX 3080 Supreme X, Palette RTX 3080 Gaming Pro, NVIDIA RTX 3080 Founders Edition, and Zotac RTX 3080 AMP Hollow Black. The GeForce RTX 3080 has been a huge success. NVIDIA sought to plus one, partly because AMD has launched extremely competitive cards in the meantime, partly to introduce their hash rate limiter designed to make new GeForce cards unattractive to miners. The Radeon RX 6800 XT matched the 3080, and the RX 6900 XT beat it. That's why NVIDIA has increased the number of cores by 17%, from 8,704 to 10,240. At the same time, the memory bus width got bumped to 384-bit, matching the RTX 3090. RAM has also been increased from 10GB to 12GB, a good PR move, though of little effect in real-life gaming. Averaged over our 22-game strong test suite at 4K resolution, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080 Founders Edition achieves very impressive numbers. It has a 10% lead over the RTX 3080, which means it beats both the Radeon RX 6800 XT and RX 6900 XT, by 11% and 5%, respectively. Another highlight is that NVIDIA's new card is really close to the RTX 3090, the difference is just 1%, impossible to notice subjectively. This also confirms once again that there is no significant difference between 24GB and 12GB of RAM, or the gap would be bigger. Against last generation's RTX 2080, the performance uplift is 47%. With those performance numbers, RTX 3080 is the perfect choice for 4K gaming at 60 FPS and above. It's probably the only resolution you should consider for this beast because we've seen some CPU limited titles even at 1440p, for 1080p, it's definitely overkill. On the other hand, if you have a strong CPU and a 1440p high refresh rate monitor, 3080 could be an option. The added performance of the RTX 3080 will also give you more headroom in case future game titles significantly increase their hardware requirements, which seems unlikely considering the new consoles are out and their hardware specifications will define what's possible for the next few years. There's no big surprises with ray tracing performance. The RTX 3080 is basically 10% faster than RTX 3080 and nearly as fast as RTX 3090. The underlying reason is that there has been no change in the GPU chip or GPU architecture. Still, compared to AMD Radeon Rednet 2, NVIDIA's ray tracing performance is better. The new game consoles use AMD graphics tech, though, so we'll see how much of that can be helped through optimization, or whether simply less demanding RT implementations are chosen. For example, Resident Evil Village has support for ray tracing, but only uses very limited RT effects, which cushions the performance penalty incurred by Radeon cards. I'm sure we'll learn more about it in the coming months if this trend can persist, or whether the only option for serious ray tracing will continue to be NVIDIA GeForce. NVIDIA's RTX 3080 Ti Founders Edition design is identical to the RTX 3080 Founders Edition, only Ti has been added in various places. Under the hood, the cooler is identical, too. A large vapor chamber base plate sucks up heat from the GPU and memory chips, moves it to the cooling fins, using 4 heat pipes. With Ampere, NVIDIA pioneered a new cooler design that has air moving through the card and to the top of the case, where it gets exhausted by the case fans. While disassembly isn't trivial, it's still reasonably easy and can be done without breaking anything, or having to glue things back together. This shows that NVIDIA did care about maintainability when designing their new FE. For a dual slot design, cooling is really good. I still feel that it would have been better had NVIDIA used the much bigger RTX 3090 thermal solution. This would have allowed for lower noise levels, important now that AMD and NVIDIA are so close in performance. With 39 Bay, the RTX 3080 Ti FE isn't loud, but can definitely be noticed. The AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT reference card, on the other hand, is whisper quiet and basically inaudible when installed in a case. Temperatures are alright with 79 degrees Celsius for the GPU underload and memory reaching 99 degrees Celsius. The other custom designs we've reviewed today do much better here, but they're all triple slot designs. With Ampere, NVIDIA introduced idle fan stop on their Founders Edition, which previously was one of the biggest reasons for gamers to look at other brands. In idle, during desktop work, internet browsing, and light gaming, the RTX 3080 Ti will turn off its fans completely for the perfect noise-free experience. This generation of card sees the introduction of the 12-pin Molex MicroFit 3.0 connector NVIDIA debuted on graphics cards, which is used on the RTX 3080 Ti Founders Edition, too. Just like on the other Emperor cards, placing the power connector in the middle of the board makes clean cable routing difficult. What I do have to praise NVIDIA for is their inclusion of an adapter with all Founders Edition cards, so you're ready to go without an additional purchase.